Hi! It's been a while since I made my last video. I believe almost 2 weeks now, but well, it happened. But today I'm going to show you my second Paladins Champion Concept I've made. If you haven't seen my first one, you can watch it if you want. But the same things apply for this Champion Concept as for the first. I don't have any proper art or stuff to show you. Mostly the abilities, and I can talk a bit more about the personality of this champion right here, because I've thought about this a lot more than about banjos. And yes, I mean, I think I will show you one picture which I have made, and I've just tried to make anything. This is not detailed because I can't draw, it doesn't look good because I can't draw, but just to show you the general idea of the design of this champion. Okay, let's start with this champion concept. So this champion is called Saru, and his title is the Bladewielder. So very creative title, I know, but I've started to make this concept, I believe, last year, and well, now Caspian is about to get released, and he's some sort of melee champion. And when I made this, he wasn't. We didn't know that Caspian would come into the game, and that's why Bladewielder was something like not special, but it said more about what this champion is going to be. So now a bit about his stuff, person thing, I don't know. His affiliation is neutral, and his race is, well, human. His direction, I don't even know if this is still like a thing. I don't even know what's going on in the Paladins lore, but when this was still a thing, he was anti-darkness, and if it is still, then he's still anti-darkness. He's in no group, and his home place, like where he lives or where he is from, is somewhere around the lunar coast. And this has a special reason, because, well, I hope you will see this picture now. I've drawn. You see his right arm isn't there anymore. This has the reason because he lost his arm against, well, you have to know the Thousand Hands Guild is also located somewhere around the lunar coast, and he does not really like what they do, and well, he tries to stop them. Like he knows he can't stop them at all, but he tries to stop some things they do. And one time he fought them, and he lost his arm in this fight, and now he has this robotic arm with this little crystal which is in there, which is actually important for his abilities. But as I already said, on this picture there are not a lot of details, because for two reasons: I can't draw, I couldn't even think of something like that, but he would not have that much detail in his clothes because he's more of a simple person. Well, let's continue with his stats, kind of stats. His role is flank, and he has a base health of 2000 HP and a base movement speed of 390. This is the same as, for example, Sky. And now onto his weapons and abilities. His weapon on the left mouse button is called Light Blade, light in terms of easy to lift. And it deals 530 damage every 0.6 seconds, and it has a range of about 22 units. Well, now that Caspian is on PTS, and we could see him in the update show live stream, and I saw like that Caspian has a extremely high range for his war abilities sword, and he also has his glove, his pistol, and I mean he has range and melee ability, and he still has a lot of range on the melee, like 40 units or something like that. And now Saru only has 22. I don't even know if this is like not enough now, because 22 units is not a lot. It's a bit more than Androxus's punch. And Maybe this is not enough, but well, we will never know. So yeah, 530 damage every 0.6 seconds. And yes, his alternate fire on the right mouse button is called a slicing dash. The description is: dash forward and wield your light blade in front of you. It deals 500 damage when you hit an enemy with it. You can pass through enemies with this ability. It's usable in every single air direction. And yes, it deals 500 damage, has a range of 65 units and a cooldown of 7 seconds. For comparison, Mace Pounce has a range of 50 units, but if you dash into the, not completely on the ground, but slightly into the air, you have momentum and only also go like 60 units far, so, or 55, so that you have something to compare to. His first ability on the Q button is called Deflecting Charge. And what it does is deflect every shot which would hit you for 1.5 seconds. You deflect every hit for 40% of their initial damage. After these 1.5 seconds, you charge up your sword, making it glow in a bluish color. While this effect is active, your light blade hits slow your enemies by 30% for 1.5 seconds. This charged effect lasts for 3.6 seconds. So this ability is the most complicated of this champion. It's not really complicated, but it's a bit more complicated. This ability has two phases, I'd say. The first one is the deflect phase, like where you deflect every bullet. It's like a mix of Zin's counter and Androxus's reversal. So you have a set duration which will always be there and you can't like cancel it early. And when someone shoots onto your deflect, the bullet goes instantly back for 30% of the initial damage. And this happens for every bullet which would, or bullet, projectile, whatever, which would hit you in these 1.5 seconds. And this ability has a cooldown of 12 seconds and the cooldown starts as soon as the deflect phase of this ability ended. So the moment your sword is in this charged state, the cooldown of this ability starts. Okay, the second ability on the F button is called Sense. The description is: stand still to focus and use all your senses to be able to find and mark one enemy in a 80 unit radius around you. Works through walls. After you marked an enemy, you can move again and have that enemy marked and revealed only to yourself for 9 seconds. So this ability has, as I already said, a radius or range of 80 units and there's a locking on time of 0.45 seconds. This ability can be cancelled early if there's, for example, no enemy around you. And this ability has a cooldown of 18 seconds. And the cooldown starts as soon as the ability is activated. You can imagine like if you activate the ability, if you press F, you can't move anymore. And you can still look around, and if there's an enemy, you can then see all enemies in an 80 unit radius around you. You can see them all, they are like marked. And then you can go with your crosshair onto one enemy, and if you are on this enemy with the crosshair for 0.45 seconds, you can cancel the ability and this enemy is marked to you for 9 seconds. So the locking thing with the crosshair you can just imagine as 7's ult. Then you have this then you have this enemy revealed only to yourself for 9 seconds. So this is only for yourself and not the entire team. His ultimate on the E button is called Oppose. And what it does is draw your second sword and deal 700 damage in a 25 unit radius around yourself. You'll now fight with both your swords, increasing the damage of Slicing Dash to 600, the deflected damage of Deflecting Charge to 70% of the initial damage per hit, and increase your damage to 600 per hit. It has a maximum duration of 12 seconds and it can be refired to cancel it. I think it explains itself, pretty standard or easy ultimate. And why it's called Oppose, maybe you can think of it yourself, or maybe I'll just make a second video about this champion to tell you a bit more about his background story. I even have a voice pack, like without the part of the voice, like there's only the voice lines written down, but I have something like this, I've made something like this for this champion. Maybe I will upload a video about this in the future. And now onto his talents. His first talent, which you unlock at level 0, is called Hidden Sense. Now onto his, well, stealth part of his kit. Like, every champion who starts with an S, or at least an sounding S, like 7, has stealth in his kit, and so does Saru, but not in his kit, but in one of his talents. I don't even know if this counts, but well, I did it like this. So his first talent, which you unlock at level 0, is called Hidden Sense, and it's quite a simple talent. It does that you basically get stealth for 6 seconds after you've marked an enemy with sense. And yes, the next talent, the second talent, which you unlock at master level 0, not 0, 2 I believe, is called Piercing Slice. And what it does is your slicing dash now deals 20% increased damage for each subsequent target hit after the first. So this is a Fernando Scorch, but on a dash and not a fireball. But I still think it fits to this character, and that's why I just made it like this. And his last talent, which you unlock at master level 8, is called Decaying Slash. And this is quite an interesting talent, I think. What it does is, while your blade is in its charged form, every hit you do now weakens your hit target, causing it to take 30% more damage from all of your own abilities, not from your allies' abilities. So this effect already exists in game, but only on one champion, on one ability, which isn't necessarily used in this way. It's on Drogo's Fire Spit. When you hit an enemy with it directly, they take 30% more damage from every source, but I thought this is a nice effect and I want it to be also in this champion, and I thought, yeah, okay, just put it in his third or last talent. And yes, this are basically all of his 3 talents. I think every single one of these talents would be viable, but well, we will never know. And now for the last big part of this video, his loadout cards. I'll start with weapon and armor and weapon. His first card is gain 7%, 14%, 21%, 28%, 35% ultimate charge back after cancelling or reactivating your ultimate. That's why you can even cancel the ult. The second card is increase your maximum HP by 40, 80, 120, 160 or 200. The third card is increase your movement speed by 40% while being in a 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 units radius of an enemy, which is a interesting card, which I think would be quite nice. And the last card for this set of cards is reduce the damage you take while being at or below 40% of your maximum HP by 4%, 8%, 12%, 60%, 20%. So just a TR card. Next up are his loadout cards for his slicing dash ability. The first card is increase the damage your dash deals to enemies affected by crowd control by 4%, 8%, 12%, 16%, 20%. The next card is heal for 30, 60, 90, 120, 150 after using slicing dash. Reduce the cooldown of slicing dash by 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, 100% after getting an elimination. And the last card of this set of cards is reduce the cooldown of deflecting charge by 0.8 seconds, 1.6, 2.4, 3.2 or 4 seconds after hitting an enemy with a slicing dash. The next set of cards is for his sense ability, and the first one would be increase your movement speed by 8%, 16%, 24%, 32% or 40% while an enemy is marked by your sense ability. The second card is heal yourself for 150, 300, 450, 600, 750 after receiving a killing blow on your marked enemy. This is specifically a killing blow because it is on a mark, on a reveal onto an enemy. Like Lex or Tyra still have specifically killing blow cards because it is on a mark ability, and Saru has the same thing. The next card is generate 3%, 6%, 9%, 12%, 15% ult charge after receiving a killing blow on your marked enemy. And the last card is reduce the cooldown of sense by 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, but also reduce the time your marked target is marked by 0.8, 1.6, 2.4, 3.2 or 4 seconds. So this is the only penalty Saru in general has, like this card. No penalties in talents and no penalties in abilities. And the last set of cards is for his deflecting charge ability. And the first card would be reduce the damage you take by 3%, 6%, 9%, 12%, 15% while your blade is in its charged form. The second card would be increase the duration of your deflect by 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1 second. And then heal for 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, 100% of the damage you deflected when you hit an enemy with the deflect. And the last card would be increase the movement speed by 6%, 12%, 18%, 24%, 30% while your blade is in its charged form. So this covers Saru in his entirety. I don't know, it could be that I've missed something out accidentally, but I still think that I'm planning to make another video on this champion just because of the voice lines, or the voice lines he would have, and maybe some more details about him as a person, as a champion, with his background story. But well, this was the ability showcase, or the ability champion concept reveal, whatever you want to call it. And well, thanks for watching and have a nice day.